11th try to record this video because it's kind of heavy for me. It's about, like, if you watch my videos, watch my live streams, you see me moving around with my neck quite a lot. Every video, every live stream, probably 100 times or even more. It depends on how long the live stream is. But that's actually not because I just like to do that or something. I'm making these movements with my neck and my head because I'm actually in pain. That's why I'm making these movements, and it's kind of like lowering the pain for maybe a minute or maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds. I went to different hospitals, I went to different doctors, I made a lot of scans, I made a lot of photos. Actually, they couldn't find anything on any scan. I went to a neurologist. They should know about this situation, but they said if I could sign for this neck, I would literally trade it with mine because it looks perfect on the pictures. But then still, I'm constantly, like 24/7, I'm constantly in pain. It's when I wake up, my neck is like fully, like it feels like it's really stuck when I stand up, when I wake up in the morning. I can talk about my whole day in more detail, but that doesn't do any different because it's actually constantly there. It's not a time when I go like to bed in the evening, then it's like gone when I go in bed, or when I'm sleeping a couple of hours, then it's gone right there. It's actually active the whole time, and that's what it makes really frustrating. So like I said, I did a lot of visits at hospitals, doctors. I also had a lot of treatments, but nothing actually really worked, and nobody could actually see the problem. This is really frustrating. I also can't really compare the pain with the day to the pain with next week. I'm not really like, that's so hard to freaking compare, but it actually feels like it's getting worse every week basically. So I'm just really noticing it, doing the videos, doing everything which I love to do, which I want to keep on doing as well. But it's actually worse when I don't do anything. So if I just don't do anything for a whole freaking day, this week I've been trying to do that to see if it's different in any way, but it's actually worse because you're constantly thinking about it, because you're constantly feeling it. And if you're actually doing something else like making videos, making music, things like that I just really like to do in general, and it's actually better to do things than if you're doing nothing, because it's kind of like a distraction for me to make videos, and those are things that I like to do, don't get me wrong, but also it's also a distraction, so you're thinking about something else, so you don't have to think about this. So you got 24 hours in one day, okay? You got 8 hours of school, you got if you go to watch school and you go back, so it's the traveling time, it's 3 hours, so it's 8 plus 3. If you put another live stream to that, you got like 4 hours plus, so that makes you got 8, 3, and you got 4, that makes 15. So you got 24 minus 15 is 9. So that means in that 9 hours you got left, you got to do 8 hours of sleeping. And I also got homework, I've got friends, I've got a girlfriend, I've got profiles to manage. So I've got like lots of different things I have to do in that 1 hour, which I don't make. So that means you're sleeping less, and that's just not good. I'm not saying this is all because of me doing YouTube, because it's something my body is actually doing to itself. But still, I'm constantly like 24/7 in pain. Fuck, it's so hard to goddamn talk about this. Like, it's really a shame where I am right now compared to where I was 2 years ago. Like body wise, like if you're talking about my physical health, of course I had all these things on my neck coming up, which I knew that wasn't really good. But still, I looked much better. I was really in shape. But then this came up. For example, I never actually wanted to stop moving. I never actually wanted to stop working out. But when I went to the gym and I actually came in to train my legs, for example, I just knew what was going wrong. And I was for example, trying to work out my calves. So working out my calves actually gave me a headache. Well, my breathing was constantly good. So like when you're training, you're breathing, trying to breathe correctly in and out, to don't get any pressure on your head, your eyes, or whatever. And I was actually really good with that, but still, it came back. I got that headache, and I could go. Like it was more like going to the gym, get a headache in 10 minutes, and go back home. That was literally everything there was for me to do. So working out wasn't fun at all, and not anymore because I freaking love to do it. But yeah, it actually got took away from me because a lot of people don't even understand what I'm talking about when I'm like saying it right into their face. I just feel like I really needed to talk about this because some of these things just really hurt the person I wanted to be, like the happy, the energetic, that I want to continue being. Um, I hope people can just come to an understanding and don't be too tough on me. For example, um, I guess this was the video. Thank you guys for listening to my story. That was Cheezh. Peace. If you're dealing with something similar to this, just don't do anything stupid, and just try to be in a good mental state. And that's what everything I would say about that.